This is Mike Goldenberg with a modern open queue video for Karnshift, which is a deck I've been brewing for a little while now. The synopsis of the deck is that I'm adding Karn the Great Creator to Titan Shift. What this does is allows Titan Shift to make use of its typically really poor sideboard and give it a lot more flexibility both in pre and post games. What this allows is for situations where we're able to use this wishboard here to grab things like Walking Ballista, Chalice of the Void, Worm Coil, Mycosync Lattice for the lock, Engineered Explosives, Ensnaring Bridge, Damping Sphere, Relic of Progenitus, and Pithing Needle. I have a second copy of Damping Sphere because I think this is a deck that can really take advantage of it. I think it's really good for Titan Shift. Even though I only gonna wish one copy in, it's for post board the matches where I really want Damping Sphere. I can side it in and have 5 effective copies. It's so good for this deck. I'm actually thinking of running one more so I can have 6 effective copies. I'm just still working on tuning my in and out matchup guide. So the deck itself is just trying to ramp to 6 and 7 mana to cast Primeval Titan and Scape Shift to win the game with Valak at the Molten Pinnacle. Karn is an extra threat which lets you win under Blood Moon and also lets you win in a lot of random situations you probably couldn't have otherwise. In a league I ran last night, I was able to Karn, grab a Pithing Needle, lock a Karn out of the game, as Karn liberated out of the game. I was able to Karn for a Damping Sphere, lock an Amulet player out of the game, Karn for... I haven't Karn for Bridge yet, but it seems really useful, especially since this deck is pretty good if we're drawing the ramp spells and the lands, where it's pretty good at being able to dump its hand pretty quick, so Bridge can actually be a real threat against aggro decks. Additionally, what the Karn package lets you do is when you're sideboarding, normally how you sideboard Titan Shift is you side out the removal spells that aren't good, and then you start siding out numbers of Farseeks. Occasionally you'll side out some packs and prime times or scape shifts depending upon the matchup and the speed of it and really how you're playing there. But generally you're looking at taking out these Farseeks. Farseek is really good at helping enable and pretty much guarantee like a turn 3 Karn, which I think this deck really wants to do. So I really like being able to keep these in because we already have access to these 10 cards main board. So really we'll just be able to sideboard these bullets in while we're still progressing our primary linear game plan. But enough on the deck tech. Let's hop into a queue. Karnshift. Okay, so this hand's fine. We're going to go turn 1, either Valakut or Cinderglade, into turn 2 Secure Tribal, then we have a turn 3 Karn here. Now this deck, Karn plays a little bit differently than it does in some other decks, because we can't protect Karn. We really don't have bodies to be able to throw in front of him. So I'm fine if Karn just drops, I drop him, I get a Wishboard card, I get a Silver Bullet, and then he basically effectively gains me 3 life. That is worth 4 mana in this case, I think. And if he lives, he threatens to take over the game entirely by himself. He's just an extra threat to draw removal, draw distractions, while he's hitting my Wishboard targets. Okay, looks like we're up against some sort of Eldrazi deck. Or not. Well, Karn the Great Creator is also really good at stopping artifacts, so this will be fun. I'll just lead with the Valakut and go from there. It's nice when you have 4 main board Stony Silences. Okay, so Memnite with Urza's Tower. I'm not sure what we're up against here. When I saw Memnite with Expedition Map, I was assuming they were using Expedition Map to grab extra copies of Inkmoth Nexus, which Infect was doing for a little while, because it's one of the best cards in their entire deck. But no idea what this is here. Huh. Yep, we'll fall down to 18, not a problem. Once again, be ready with Karn next turn. Trying to think of what our opponent can do. Like, why would you run Memnites along with Tron lands? There's got to be something obvious I'm missing. Like, wouldn't work with Polymorph or anything like that, but I'm sure we'll find out momentarily. Okay. It's like a eggs deck then. Yeah, Karn's gonna be pretty good here. The only problem is he's gonna be pretty undefended. Get a mountain. So Karn can grab me Damping Sphere, which can lock off their Tron lands. They can grab me Bridge, which isn't particularly great at the moment. Engineered Explosives on 0 seems okay. My other option is not to play Karn right now, and instead just to play Secure Tri-Builder and then set up for prime time next turn. I think that's actually probably a better line, actually. That way when I drop Karn, I can protect him. Okay. I think Pithing Needle could be really strong here if there's any activated ability that I'm trying to dodge. I just don't know what my opponent... Okay, so yeah, Pithing Needle's pretty good here. Next turn I can just go Karn, Pithing Needle if I choose. So I'll block the Scrap Trawler and save myself 3 life here. If my opponent goes all in, like if they sacrifice a creature that I'm blocking, I don't think I'll sacrifice him, and then I can always just drop a Karn, which would lock down Arcbound. A bunch of different options here. Opponent's down to 1 card in hand. Taking the sweet time choosing. Okay, any actions? No? Alright. Let's get a mountain. We already have Valakut in play and we're getting Prime, so mountain's great here. So again, I have a bunch of options. I could Acid Moss them and knock out a Tron land. I don't think that's super valuable at the moment. Especially since I only have 1 card in hand. If I have more cards in hand, I might be tempted to do that. But I think just dropping Prime is probably the best possible thing I can do here. Now I can grab 2 mountains and get 2 triggers. Or I can actually just set myself up to grab another prime time next turn off the Valley Good. Killing the creatures isn't super effective at the moment since it'll just Arcbound Ravager them and then grab stuff back with Scrap Trawler. I will say it's weird after playing so much Amulet Titan that dropping a prime time doesn't heal me in this situation. Normally I'd be getting like a Kabira Crossroads or a Radiant Fountain or something to gain a little bit of life. So I have 8 mana in play, so I can just cast a Titan, which will be pretty close to winning the game, or I can cast Karn and grab whatever I need in case my opponent's doing something different. Neat little trick is I could grab Bridge, and I can always pack for something and fail to find, just to lower my card count. It's fine. Even if they drop a Karn Liberated right now, which it seems strange to be in their deck, right? I'd still have they're probably going to be taking out a Prime Time, and I'd still have the ability to drop a Prime next turn. Sure, the most they'd have is drop the map, play the map, 3, 5 mana. Yeah. I think I'm in pretty good shape here. So I'm going to play the Wooded Foothills. Then I'll Pact for Prime, play Prime. I'll get 2 Mountains, which will be 2, 4, 6 triggers. And then I'll play this, which will be 3 more triggers. It's 9 triggers. 9 times 3, 27 damage. That is lethal. Okay. Without even attacking. And we'll go to game 2 here. And then I get better after sideboard. Which is something I really like to say. It's something I didn't feel like I could say with classic Titan Shift. Like I felt like my opponent gained more of an edge than I did. Okay. So I want the other Anger at the Gods. I'm still not 100% sure what my opponent's on, but seeing a bunch of artifacts makes me intrigued. Beast Within seems pretty good here. Just being able to hit whatever they're trying to do. I don't know if I want more access to more life gain. Worm Coil might be enough. If I did, it'd probably be a Thragtusk or a Baloth, let's see. Acid Moss is really important. I'm going to trim a Farseek. And I'll trim a Pact. Yep, run like this. I'm only going to trim one Farseek, because I actually think that Farseek is pretty valuable here. Being able to go turn 3 Karn or turn 3 Acid Moss should just be able to win me the game. If I have a blind Pithing Needle, it's probably going to be on Ravager. This hand is, oddly enough, probably fine, based on what I saw just game 1. It's very slow. I am on the draw, so I do have a lot of chances of drawing some ramp spells. Greater Gargadon. Okay. I still have no idea what my opponent's trying to do here. My opponent did not see Karn's game 1, which is actually a huge advantage for us, because post-board we have, like I said, basically access to... Oh, that's pretty neat. You can sacrifice a Sword of the Meek. Oh, we basically have access to Stony Silence that they don't know about. Although I'm not sure Stony Silence is actually that good for what we're seeing right here. So our opponent should have done is played Sword of the Meek, sacrificed it to Gargadon, and then played Memnite and got Sword of the Meek back. They a little missequenced right there. Assuming that their plan is to actually put Gargadon in play. I'm really glad I have that Beast Within in my deck, because Gargadon is a pretty big threat. A 9/7 comes in with haste. I don't have too many creatures that can block that. Sure. The reason I fetched for a mountain there instead of just playing the forest is I want my Valakut to be online as much as possible. Why'd they let that resolve? They're doing something with this Gargadon here. Either that or they're just having some mistakes here. They should have sacrificed the Memnite. You could have sacrificed 2 things there and put Gargadon a little bit lower. Okay. So next turn I have Prime Time, which will be a turn 5 Prime Time. A little bit slow here, but haven't seen our opponent's game plan yet. My interaction has so far just been wiping their board, which when it terms of interaction, it's pretty good. Okay. Again, shouldn't they have sacrificed... If their intention is getting Gargadon in play, I think they would want to sacrifice Sword of the Meek, play Memnite, and then Sword of the Meek comes into play attached to Memnite. I assume they have some sort of engine where they want Gargadon still off suspend. Not playing around Blood Moon, which I think is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, two, three, four, five. So I'm actually going to grab a Valakut and a Stomping Ground. That way I can kill their Memnite and shoot them up in the head. Again, I'm just intrigued they're not sacrificing their creatures to Gargadon. If their plan is to block Primetime with Gargadon, I'm going to be killing them before that is even an issue. The next turn I'm just going to cast Primetime, get a couple mountains, attack with Primetime, and I should just win from there. Opponent has used 10 more minutes of clock than me. I don't know what they're doing. Hopefully, they pull something off here and we get to see what they're actually what their plan is. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Put a second Gargadon on suspend. So this isn't a league, but this is the, what, the $2-3 queue, whatever it ends up being. I think it's a $2 queue. So I guess my point is that there's still prizes on the line, and there's still some sort of expense. It's not like this is one of the free-to-play areas. Three floating mana. I've used less than 4 minutes of clock here. Okay. Game opponent. we didn't get to see Karn there, but we got to see our opponent's neat little brew. So let's see some Karn next time. See you in the next one.